What is going on, everybody? Give me 1 second here. In 1 second, guys. Okay. What is going on, everybody? Just waiting on a few people to get on here. All right. So the point of this live Q&A is just, hey man, exactly what it said, live Q&A. So let's do this. See, we got a pretty good response last time we did this. So just hop on. Anything you guys want to talk about? Feel free to call in the number somewhere over. My screen kind of runs out, but it's somewhere up there. Call in on that number. It comes in directly to me, and talk some MMA. Any questions, any comments, any concerns, anything you want to talk about MMA? You want to talk about Bellator this past weekend? You want to talk about any of the upcoming UFC cards? You want to talk about a past fight? You want to talk about whatever? Just send it on in. Bring it on in. Just bring it on in. Come on. Come on. Just bring it on in. And we'll get going here. Bring it on in and we'll get going. Like I said, anything at all, we'll get going and talk about anything you guys want to talk about. Anything at all. We'll talk about, well, to me it was a shocker from Bellator this past weekend. And now, shame on me. I've seen the highlights of all the whole show. I haven't had a chance to watch each match one by one. Shame on me. But I've seen all the highlights, and I was, I was pulling for Mir. I think I said it last week. I was pulling for Mir, and I really wanted Mir to come out. As of right now, I'm 2-1 on my. I'm 2-1 from my picks for the Bellator heavyweight title tournament. I'm 2-1 at the moment. I did pick Mitrione. I did pick Chael, but I picked Frank Mir. And I'm also picking Ryan Bader to beat King Mo. So I think Bader's going to take King Mo in this. I really wanted to see Chael Sonnen. I really wanted to see a Chael Sonnen Frank Mir match. I think that I don't know. I think to me that would have been a little more interesting because I think that I think it would have been a little more even on an even playing field as far as ground game. Of course, Mir has the wrestling, and he's got jiu-jitsu as well. And then of course, Sonnen has got the wrestling and the jiu-jitsu stuff as well. I'd love to see who was a better, who was better on the ground. If it would have been Mir and Sonnen, I definitely think I would have had to have given the advantage to Mir on the stand-up. I don't think that. Not to say Sonnen doesn't have any hands, but um, I don't think that. I don't think Mir could have done a whole. I mean, I'm sorry. I don't think Sonic could have outstruck Mir. I think Mir just has the heavier hands. He's just a bigger guy. My God, he was right. I mean, he was right at the cusp of that 265. Right. I mean, like he cut exactly what he needed to get down to that. So I don't know. I don't know how that would have done against what was Sonic when he fought Rampage, like 230 something like that. Um, Anyways, yeah, please just like I said, call in the number. You'll see the number. We are live. This is a live stream, so call in right now. You'll see the number up top. Call in. We'll talk. Don't be shy. Put in your questions. If you want to comment down below, and comment down below any questions you might have. Anything you want to talk about. You want to talk about anything scrolling across the screen down low. Like I said, any shows you want to talk about. You want to talk about Bellator, any of the upcoming UFC cards. You know, anything. Shoot me a message. Shoot me a conversation. Just call. Just go ahead and call. You know you want to. Come on. Yeah, I already told you. I like the long walks on the beach, man. Candlelit dinners. Let's go. Give me a phone call. Give me a phone call. We'll talk. Make this a little fun. Not that I don't have fun anyway, but you know. Okay. But yeah, so this is the live Q&A. Like I said, I've done this a couple times before. I seem to have some fun with it. So seem to have a lot of fun with it actually. So just kind of messed around, trying it again. We got some really cool announcements coming up as far as like for interviews and stuff like that. I'm waiting on some just a few different confirmations. I've got kind of several people just on the verge here, just kind of just waiting for some schedule conflicts and stuff like that. So I do have several things kind of working right now, and I will definitely let you guys know as soon as I find out. I will let you guys know. So I don't want to say it, before it's actually completely confirmed. Otherwise, now I look stupid. I already look stupid. A few weeks ago we had. I'm sure some of you are probably disappointed with it. I had gotten some messages about it. My bad. We had scheduled Aljamain Sterling on. Everything was confirmed up until the very last minute. I had actually started the show because I do a recorded format when I'm doing the show. We usually want to do interviews. It just makes it a little bit easier, especially easier when it comes to scheduling and stuff like that. It just makes it a whole heck of a lot easier for the fighters and whoever else I'm bringing on the show when I do that. So it just makes it easier, just all the way around. So just waiting on a few things here. Just waiting on a few things here. Yeah, please just call in, man. Sorry about that. Yeah, call in with your questions, anything you guys want to talk about. You guys just want to, let's talk a little shop. Let's talk, you want to talk about Bellator from this past weekend. Like I said, anything. You want to talk about any of the upcoming UFC cards, stuff like that. Please just you can call in on the number. It should be right above you. You should see a little message up there right above. And we can talk about anything you want. Like I said, I was just kind of talking about, I had the interview with Aljamain Sterling a while back, but last minute one of his managers called and he had some scheduling conflicts with some, some training and stuff like that. It was a few weeks for the fight, understandable. We've been trying to get that back, but anyways, that is, that's neither here nor there. So, guys, please hit me up. Let's move along here. So about the brackets, the Bellator brackets. And yes, I am sporting a Wolverine shirt. Don't hate. Don't hate on the Wolverine shirt. Please, no no Avengers Infinity War spoilers here. I saw it, I loved it, but anyway, no spoilers, so please don't. You will be kicked out if you spoil it for somebody. Just saying. But so the Bellator heavyweight tournament, I think it's one of the cooler things that they've done in a while. I really wish that I wish UFC kind of went back to that, kind of went back to that every once in a while. It wouldn't hurt. I think it'd be pretty cool. I understand, Bellator is just right place at the right time kind of thing for them to do it. So completely understand there. But you know, so I think that this is like I said, this is what my picks were. This is what I was hoping from the beginning. Um, I was hoping for a Ryan Bader, Matt Mitrione setup, okay, and then I was hoping for a Mir Sonnen setup. That was my hopes. That was my hopes for that. And then I wanted to see Sonnen go on to face Bader, and Sonnen to win the whole thing. Now, with that said, now with that said, um, you know, I, right now, as of right now, it's I don't know. My picks. I don't know how Fedor's going to do. I don't know how Sonnen's going to do against Fedor. That just kind of changes the whole game up for me. I think with Mir, I think with Mir, he had a really good chance against Mir. I think. I mean, Fedor's interesting too, but Fedor used to have. I mean, he used to have really good takedown defense, and he also got heavy hands. At the same time, Fedor, his chin's a little gone now, a lot more than it used to be. So I really just don't know. I really don't know. If Sana's not getting Fedor down, I don't really see. I don't know, man. That's tough. That's really tough. That's a really tough matchup. I don't know that I can really. I don't know who's winning against with Sonnen and Fedor now. I hope Sonnen does still. I'm still pulling for him, but it's definitely. I think Fedor is a tougher matchup only because of his takedown defense. And I think he hits a hell of a lot harder than probably Mir does. Not to say Mir is no walk in the park. Mir's a big boy. He was a big boy the other night. Cutting weight to get to 265. That's a big boy. I mean, he's. I think the only advantage to that is what was Fedor 240 something like that. I think he was in the low 240s for that fight, and I think that Chael. What did he fight Rampage at 230 something? I don't even think he cut anything. I think he just which I mean. Great for him, but I think he came in about 230 something, so maybe they might have a 15 pound weight difference between Fedor and Sonnen. But I don't know. I think it's an interesting fight, and I think it's just how good is Fedor's takedown defense. I think that will honestly set the pace for the whole fight, because if Sonnen can take down Fedor, I think it's a wrap. If Sonnen can't take down Fedor, it's a wrap. So I think either way you're looking at it, I think it's just. Sorry, just checking something here. I think either way you're looking at it, I think it's a wrap, man. So so as far as the rest of the tournament goes, I mean, I'm thinking I don't think Mo's not gonna beat Bader. I just don't see that happening. I mean, honestly, it's kind of a weird matchup anyway, because this Mo versus Bader, this should have been for the light heavyweight strap anyways. So it's kind of an odd matchup, because eventually I have to see that them two are eventually going to have to fight for the light heavyweight strap eventually anyway. So it's kind of weird. What if Mo beats Bader, in this tournament? Bader's still the light heavyweight, champion, because it's not on the line. So it's kind of a weird. I think it's definitely kind of a weird situation with this, and I think that as I said, I think Bader takes this. I think Bader, and I think Bader has the better chance to beat Mitrione too as well. I think Bader's a little bit bigger, and I think he's a little more well-rounded than Mo is. So I think he has the better tools to beat Mitrione. Mitrione is just he's got some heavy ass hands. So I mean Mitrione's a big boy, so that's a huge weight difference, for Bader. But I think Mitrione can take Mo. I think Mitrione can take. I'm sorry. I think Bader can take Mo, and I think Bader can take Mitrione, and I think it's going to set up for hopefully, like I said, my picks for all this is I think it's going to be Sonnen and Bader. So that's my picks for this. I think Sonnen takes it. It'd be interesting. I think Sonnen takes it. I guess more than anything, I think I just kind of want it for Sonnen. Um, he's never had a strap, so it's just I think I just want it for him to win it, and even if he loses it, if he comes out and loses it the next day, I'm not mad at him. I think I just want it for him. I'm a huge Chael Sonnen fan, always have been. I just always have I guess you could call it a soft spot for the wrestlers. I don't know. Um, I just always had a soft spot for that, so I just really pulling for him. Um, so as far as that kind of takes that up. So like I said, any comments or anything you guys want to talk about? Um, like I said, pop me a comment. Please share this too. Pop me a comment. Call in. We can talk about anything you guys want. Like I said, you guys want to talk about Bellator some more? You guys, your thoughts. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the tournament and what's coming up. So, what were your picks? So far. So, UFC cards coming up. You guys excited for? There's a lot of really big cards coming up. I think a lot of people are sleeping on. A lot of people are sleeping on the was it 220 and 224. I think a lot of people are sleeping on that. I think everybody's just kind of looking past it and going straight to 225, and then of course 226. I think a lot of people are sleeping on 224, and I really just don't. I don't know why. I really don't know why. Um, oh God, I was just looking up something really quick. I just want to look on the. I know the main card. I kind of just want to look on the the undercard for 224. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so. Oh yeah, I mean, I think that's a um, pretty solid main card right there. Um, Machida and Belfort. I, Hell, that could possibly be a. Who knows? That could be a double retirement match. I don't know. Um, I mean, I think we know it is for Belfort. I mean, Machida can't be. I know he's a little younger than Belfort is, but I don't know, man. It can't be that much further behind. So, finished podcast. What's up? Hello. Oh, whoever. Hello. 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 I don't know. Hello. All right. I don't know what's going on with that. Whoever that was, I don't know. I couldn't hear you. I don't know if you could hear me. But yeah, I don't know. Anyways, yeah, I think UFC 224. I think a lot of people are sleeping on it. Um, Like I said, I think it's gonna be a double retirement match for Machida and Belfort. Um, Brian Keller, guy, excuse me on the pronunciation. I know I've seen the guy fight before. Brian Keller here, and of course John Lineker. It's kind of weird. So you got a number 6 guy fighting a guy who's not even in the top. I don't. What is he? Is he even in the top 15? Um, it's kind of a weird situation for John Lineker for that. But I don't know. It's kind of a weird situation for him to be in. Then you got Mackenzie Dern and Amanda Cooper. Yeah, another situation. Um, I think they're probably going to try to feed. No hate on anybody that Mackenzie Dern will face or ever face or has faced or anything like that, but I'm pretty sure they're probably going to try to feed Mackenzie Dern here. Just kind of feed her some people to beat. And like I said, no offense to anybody she's facing, but I think she's just kind of feeding people at the moment. Just they're trying to make a star out of her, and hey, she's got the look. She's awesome. Obviously at jiu-jitsu, she needs a little bit of work on the stand up, but hold on a second here. Finished podcast. What's up? Hello. 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 Cannot hear you. All right. Whoever's trying to call in, I have no idea. I can kind of hear a little bit of breathing, but um, I have no idea what's going on with that. But yeah, I think they're just kind of feeding Mackenzie Dern for a little bit. Um, I think they're trying to build her up and hype her up. Like I said, she's got the looks. She's got a good base. I think she's got a pretty big following coming into it. And she's got that weird. A lot of people kind of make fun of her for her accent. They call it fake, but what am I looking at here? Yeah, a lot of people call it that fake accent or whatever. But hey, whatever. Let's see. Then we got moving on. Of course, Jacare Souza and Kevin Gastelum. That's going to be good. I think Kelvin is on a tear right now, and I think Souza is just not quite what he used to be, and I hope that doesn't. I think it is what it is. I think it's just age is catching up to him. Obviously, he's still very dangerous, but I think Kelvin is just. I think he's really found his stride as of late. So, I think as of late he's really found his stride, and I think he's going to take Kelvin. I'm sorry, I think he's going to take Jacare. And I don't know, that middleweight title picture is a little weird right now. We don't know what's going on with Luke Rockhold for sure. Is Luke Rockhold moving up to light heavyweight? Like everybody kind of thinks he is. I don't know. We don't know exactly. We don't know exactly what's going on with that. We don't know exactly what's going on with that whole thing. So, we got, of course, Amanda Nunes and Raquel Pennington. I don't know, man. I think Nunes. I don't want to say steamrolls Pennington right here, but come on. I just don't think anything. If Raquel did any amount of offense against her that was, you know, anything that, anything remotely impressive, I think it'd be an upset. To her beating Amanda Nunes, I just don't see it. I just don't see it happening. I just don't think it's in the cards right now for her. I really don't. I just don't see it. But you know, I don't know, man. Everybody wants the Nunes versus Cyborg fight, and I think with this fight, I think it'll bring it one step closer to that. Um, I think it'll bring it one step closer. I think Amanda Nunes beats her, and then there was, we don't know what's going on with, with Home and Megan Anderson. We don't know what Cyborg is doing next. So I don't know. We don't really know. It's kind of up in the air. We're hoping for that fight, for the Cyborg and the Amanda Nunes fight, but what if it doesn't happen? You know, we might have just missed a window. Maybe Nunes doesn't really want it. Maybe Cyborg doesn't really want it. I don't know. Um, they were kind of at first they were when the initial talks were out. It was oh well, they kind of didn't want to fight each other because they were both from Brazil, and then it kind of went to, well, of course we'll fight each other if it's right. And then Amanda kind of issued the challenge, and Cyborg accepted, and it was kind of like a preliminary. We thought we were going to get it possibly during International Fight Week in July. So there was that time period, and of course that didn't happen. And then we heard the Amanda Nunes Raquel Pennington matchup, and then we heard Megan Anderson was coming in from Invicta, and everybody assumed that Megan Anderson was going to challenge Cyborg right off the bat. That didn't happen either, and of course now we're getting Holly Holm and Megan Anderson, which is not a disappointment. Which I completely agree with. I don't agree with them just getting someone straight from another company, as good as she is, just giving them the title shot. They shouldn't have did that with that girl, Konichka or something. I don't even know, man. I don't remember her name. I'm sorry. It's nothing against her as a fighter, but it's just they had to do it because there's been nobody else. There's nobody else in that division. She had just beat Holly Holm. There's nobody else there, and I get that. But I don't know, man. They did it for Ronda. At first they were just bringing people in, they were bringing anybody in they could just to, just to give her something, just to give her somebody to throw an armbar on. And I think that's all they wanted. I think with Cyborg it's a little different because Cyborg really, truly is. I do really get the impression that she's looking for, a big challenge. I don't think it's just about, her legacy is important to her, but it's different. A lot of people say GSP is only interested in having, when he was defending, when he was defending his gazillion times, he was all about fights that made sense to him. I think there were good matchups for him. I don't think they were worried so much about the rankings. I mean, it just happened to kind of fall in line because he was beating everybody. I don't think it was a matter of being scared of anybody. I don't think it was like that. But I do believe that GSP is only interested in having. Sorry about that. I do believe that. Sorry, things went a little crazy for a second. Sorry, folks. The screen got a little funky. But I don't know, man. The whole thing. Like I said, I think GSP did kind of handpick for a little bit because he wanted the fights that made the most sense. I don't think it had anything to do with being scared. It was just, you know, it was what it was. No hate on him, no hate on his team or nothing like that. I think they picked the fights that made the most sense, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that at all. So, I don't think there's a thing wrong with it. But I guess kind of moving on with that. Anyway, so then we got coming up. I guess we could go to is Bellator 199. Is that the same night? That's the same night as it is. 199 is the same night as UFC 224. I think that was that's a pretty good card. Sorry, guys, I'm just looking. Okay, yes. All right, so so that is the that's the Bader King Mo fight. Got John Fitch, Paul Daly. That's an interesting fight. John Fitch, Paul Daly fight. You got Chet Congo, Jay Ayala, Ayala. Sorry about that. Carrington Banks and Adam Picolti. Aaron Pico versus Lee Morrison. That's that guy. That's like that standout, right? Yeah, I remember that guy. That's a pretty big fight card. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Jesus, that's a 15 fight card there for that. So, like I said, please, call in. Let me know what you guys want to see. That's like that standout, right? Yeah, I remember that guy. Let me know what you guys want to see, what you guys want to talk about. Please call in. Feel free. All right, let me. All right, I'm just checking one quick thing, guys. Bear with me. I just wanted to look at something real quick. Sorry, guys. What is going on here? All right. Why is... Okay. All right, sorry about that. So I just had to check a couple things real quick. All right, so we already went through the Ryan Bader and Mo situation. I already gave my thoughts on that, so you guys kind of know where I stand on that as far as that goes. Let's check. Let's move along. All right, so you got the Maia versus Usman fight night. You got the UFC Fight Night, the Liverpool card, um, Thompson versus Darren Till. Interesting fight, very interesting fight. Um, can Thompson's really elusive. Is still going to be able to get in there and um, you know uh, get down and dirty like we know he can, or is still going to use his long legs and keep him kind of keep him at distance. I don't know. Um, I don't know what's going to happen with that. It's an interesting matchup, and I really just don't know what's going to happen with that. But I don't know. Um, let's check here. Like I said, guys, please feel free to call in. Um, Rampage Jackson made a return already, Mike. um, but please, like I said, call in and talk about anything you guys want. Feel free, ask about anything MMA related. You talk about Bellator, UFC, whatever you guys want, and hey, we'll talk about it. Does not matter to me. So I guess we can look towards. Let's kind of stick with the pay-per-views. Otherwise, we could be here literally all day, all night, talking about all these different events here. But let's go with stick with the big cards. I guess what's next is the Whitaker Romero, the Chicago card. It's a damn good card. Uh, let's just hope nothing happens and this thing doesn't get screwed up again. But it's a damn good card. Man, I don't even know where to start. I mean, I love anytime Clay Guida fights. I watch it. I don't care who he's fighting. Carlo and Sparza and Claudia Gadelia. They're fighting. I mean, that'll be a good fight. Um, Joseph Benavidez, Sergio Pettis. That's gonna be one to look at. Punk and Mike Jackson. Oh man, that's crazy. 0-1 against 0-1. How do you market that? I don't know. Do you even put that on the main card? Do you put Punk and Mike Jackson on the main card? That's tough, man. That's really tough. Really tough. I mean, I know Punk's a name, but oh man, I got that stuff just from a marketing standpoint, just because of how bad it. I mean, I guess you kind of have to, just because he's just. I guess you're gonna have to, um, because it's just such a big name. Take down the fence, 37.5. Mm, mm. Let's look at Mike Jackson's. Yeah, so I guess his. Okay, yeah, when he fought, yeah, that was the guy he beat to get into the UFC against Punk. It's interesting that they did that. So has the guy not fought since then? That was February 6th, 2016. So over 2 years. So what has he been doing? What has this guy been doing for the past, almost 2 years and some change? What has he been doing since then? Is he doing jiu-jitsu tournaments? Is he doing kickboxing? What is he doing? Is he just training? I don't know. Has he been training the whole time? Did he say, screw it, I lost my chance to get into the UFC because Mickey Gall beat me, he went on to face Punk? Did he say, screw it, I'm not about this life, I'm done? What an interesting choice. I mean, I guess I understand. They both have that common opponent, so I mean that's definitely like a storyline right there, but it's interesting. Definitely interesting. Huh. Hmm. Okay, so anyway, I could get stuck all day just on that fight. All right, so of course the Holly Holm, Megan Anderson fight. I already talked about that. Andrei Arlovski versus God, I don't know. He kicked ass at that Australia card. Ty Tuvasa. I don't know, man. That dude was pretty sick looking. Um, this will be his big chance to break into the top 10. It'll be real interesting to see. Um, it'll be real interesting to see what he does against Andrei Arlovski. So, be real interesting. Um, Overeem versus Curtis Blades. Another interesting fight. I think Curtis should be able to manhandle Alistair and ground and pound him and just control him the same way he did the Mark Hunt. Alistair is definitely a more decorated, more technical striker than Mark Hunt is. I don't think he hits as hard as Mark Hunt does, so there's that. Um, I mean, it's a different animal. Alistair really, I mean, there's no comparison. Alistair's a different animal. Um, like I said, just a lot more decorated striker, a lot more technical striker. Let's see. Alistair was a 76% of takedowns defended. Alistair's a takedown accuracy of 62.79%. His takedown accuracy is actually higher than Curtis Blades. Now, how many takedowns is that? Curtis goes for an average takedown of 7.29 in his fights. A lot of people sleep on Curtis Blades too, but I mean, what you gotta remember, the only loss this guy has is to um, Ngannou. It's the only loss this guy has, and that was who knows which way that could have went. That could have went the other way real quick. It really could have. And then you got Dos Anjos versus Colby Covington. I think a lot of eyes are going to be in this fight. I think if not for the drama, Colby has basically talked himself into a title fight, and I'm not hating him for it. Conor basically did the same thing. Conor basically talked himself into a title fight, but he could back it up too. Colby has done the same thing. It's an interim title fight, not for the legit title, but um, Rafael Dos Anjos is a tough order. Um, if Colby can dispatch RDA, I think a lot of people are going to have I think they might swing their tune, or maybe they won't. Maybe they'll still just you know talk shit about Colby. A lot of people got to remember this too. This is we are now in the age in the UFC where the UFC is kind of, I call it half. It's like half WWE now. You know, it's almost got gimmicks. Some of these guys have characters and gimmicks that they market. Some of them are good. Some of them are, you know, just assholes by nature. Some of them aren't so good. Some of them, you know, some of them work, some of them don't. Whatever. Colby, you could definitely tell that he's trying a little too hard. I believe, Tyron Woodley was talking about how he knows that Colby has people like writing shit for him. I believe it. You can kind of tell. You can tell that it doesn't come 100% genuine. Um, I think that the best shit talkers are people who are, for just example. This is just from the little wrestle talk here, but a lot of people say like the most successful people are people that who are themselves, but just turns it up a little bit, right? So, like like The Rock. The Rock is pretty much himself, except that he just kind of cranks up the intensity, right? He's not that brash, that outgoing, that this or that. He just kind of cranks up, everyday life. You're at like a 3 or 4. He just cranks up that dial. I think the same thing is like Connor. I don't now, with the exception of the dolly going through the bus incident, the exception of that, I would have said that Connor seemed like a pretty normal dude. With the exception of that, he just looks like he kind of cranks up the intensity. The closer it gets to a show, the closer it gets to a fight, or when he's around fights or whatever. It just seems that he does kind of crank up the intensity a little bit, turns it up to 10. And I think that's all we're looking at with most of these guys. Colby's a little different. I don't know. He just sometimes it seems a little awkward. He does seem a little awkward sometimes with when he's talking some of that smack. It's just some of it just seems really, really weird. It really does, and I can't fully get a good grip if it's genuine or not. But anyways, a lot of people are gonna have a lot of eyes on it, and I think that it'll be interesting. Forrest Whitaker and Yoel Romero. I think that here's the thing. The way that Whitaker beat Yoel Romero before was because Whitaker wasn't letting Yoel Romero kind of get those setups in, right? Romero kind of needs the setups to really start, coming down on you. And Whitaker kept cutting them off. Yoel Romero is going to have to, like, this is the way he's been fighting, at least since he's been in the UFC. He's been fighting almost the same way. So for him to change something that is so probably just, it's kind of instinctive, sorry, like, I don't know. I mean, maybe Yoel changed it up, and maybe it's completely different. I don't know. But, who knows? Who knows? I think it's going to be a repeat of the same as last time. I think it's going to be just a complete repeat. I think Whitaker beat Yoel the same way. But, who knows? But, I don't know. But, anyways, leave your guys, leave some comments, please, below, and let me know what you guys think. I'm going to kind of wrap it up here. But, let me know what you guys think. Please, like I said, whoever called in earlier, don't know what happened. I just couldn't really hear you. But, please leave some comments. Share, like the page, please. Just very important. Anything you guys can do. We're going to be doing a giveaway soon. I'm going to make a separate video for that, but just a little heads up. just a little heads up on that. We are going to be doing a giveaway, just some merchandise stuff. I haven't decided exactly what I'm giving away yet. I've got some ideas. I got some stuff being made up, but we're going to be giving away some stuff, and I will fill you in on all the requirements to be entered into the giveaway. But just a little heads up. It's if liking liking the page and stuff like that. But anyway, I'm gonna slide off here. But like I said, please hit me up, and I try to be as responsive as I can. And we'll catch you later.